Hello learners, welcome to the wonderful world of English language classroom. This is a grammar lesson again in the series Time and Tense, Grammar in Context. This is the part 5 in the series. Today we will learn past and past perfect together. This lesson is meant for classes 6, 7, 8, any of the classes, because we have time and tense in all these classes some or other. Me and with me Miss Kriti Kavdam, you learners will explore the usages and use of past tense and past perfect. Okay, Kriti?
Yes, sir.
Let's begin, learners. How do you find learning of grammar? You will have to tell us, we do not know, you may reflect on these, give your feedback, that is one thing. Okay. We have learned simple present, present continuous and past continuous so far. Also present perfect, is it?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we are together on all these lessons. How are things at your end in learning grammar? Okay, Kriti?
Yes, sir.
I had asked you to write some more sentences in present, present continuous, present perfect, past continuous. Have you done that?
Yes, sir. I have written some.
Oh, great. That's good. I must thank you for that.
Sir, you have just said I had asked you. Why did you say that? I had asked you?
So, when I had asked you, that's what I asked you. When did I ask you to do that?
Sir, you asked me last time we met.
Okay. So, I asked you in the
Past.
long past.
Yes, sir.
And after that many more events happened.
Yes, sir.
So, this is an incident in the
It is in the past.
earlier past.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You have noticed it. What did I ask?
What is the time there?
Okay. Then it is in past, just past. Is it just past? No.
Yes. No, sir.
I should have asked if it is just past, long ago, very long ago, it is a past time. I should have asked, I asked you to write some sentences. I had asked you. That means I had asked you long ago. After that many events had taken place. What is the difference? I asked you and I had asked you.
So, one has happened in the immediate past and one question represent that the event has happened in the long past.
Okay. Both are in past tense.
Yes, sir. Both
Okay.
are in past
So,
tense.
Kriti and learners, we are going to learn the past tense and past perfect, that is, I did it, I had done it. So, these two usages, these two time and tense usage we will learn today. This is what we are going to learn. Before we move on to learn past tense and past perfect tense, how they are used, let us know the objectives of this lesson.
Objectives of the lesson. At the end of this lesson, learners will be able to understand time and tense, use past and past perfect tenses in context, to discover the forms, past and past perfect tense forms, and use them in speech and writing appropriately.
Fine. Learners, we have now known the objectives of this lesson. Now, let us get into learn how past tense and past perfect tenses are used. Okay. Come on, let us begin with past tense, simple past. Kriti, these learners know we have learned simple present.
Yes, sir.
Okay, an action which takes place now and universal truths, something like that. Learners, we learned simple present, it's almost opposite of simple present. Okay. Past tense. Past tense, now there are some sentences for you to notice the past tense. Come on, Kriti will read out again. Here are the sentences, you can see it on the screen. Come on, go ahead.
Sure, sir. I got up at 7 a.m. yesterday. I went for morning walk for about 40 minutes yesterday. I went to the market to buy some vegetables. I read the newspaper for some time. I talked to my brother in the evening at about 6:30 p.m. I wanted to visit my friend but could not as I was busy with my work. Last week I told my friend that I would visit him. Last year I visited Mumbai. It was a great experience. I was the captain of our school hockey team when I was in class 11th. I lived in Bangalore during 2002 to 2004.
Thank you, Kriti.
You're
Look at
welcome,
this.
sir.
Look at these sentences. Very interesting. When did all these actions taking place?
They have taken place in the past.
Okay. So, what kind of verbs we are using?
Got up, went, read, talked, wanted, visited, was, lived.
Okay. And these events which took place in the past, long past or very long past, means 2002, yesterday. So, all past actions we are using the past form of the verb. So, this is how past tense is used. Let us not go into the definition now. So, now last year, last week we use past tense. Some more sentences for you. I am going to read out.
Okay, sir.
You will be answering on behalf of the learners and the learners will also be answering there,
Okay,
sitting
sir.
at home or in school, wherever they are. So, 3 options. You have to choose the correct option to fill in the blanks.
Okay, sir.
My teacher asks asked us to complete the work yesterday.
My teacher asked us to complete the work yesterday.
My sister went to play the whole evening yesterday.
My sister went to play the whole evening yesterday.
We played cricket against our neighborhood school last week.
We played cricket against our neighborhood school last week.
We defeated them with huge difference.
We defeated them with huge difference.
Where were you in the morning today?
Where were you in the morning today?
How old are you when you were in class 2?
How old were you when you were in class 2?
I wrote the examination last month.
I wrote the examination last month.
My brother who got the first rank is now studying in the university.
My brother who got the first rank is now studying in the university.
We do not have so many social media 20 years ago as we do now.
We did not have so many social media 20 years ago as we have now.
My father studied in the village school and went to the best university later.
My father studied in a village school and went to the best university later.
Learners, we have seen past tense. Now, we see past perfect as well as past tense. Okay. Again, let us notice the past tense in usage, in action. Okay. I am going to read out the sentences which would appear on the screen. You see the words in bold, Kirti and the learners.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Our teacher had told us to submit the assignment, but he forgot it. Rahul met his friend at the station as he had promised. Vanita had finished her work and went to play. When I reached the station, the train had already left. When I finished the work, the teacher had already left. When he wrote answer of the last question, the bell had rang. The police officers saw them violating the traffic rules before they had reached the point. I had promised to help her, but I could not do it. When Gandhiji had called for action, the people of this country supported him. Learners, just notice the sentences in which there are 2 actions. The first action or whatever the action, one action has had plus past participle. So, Could you read out the sentences, Kriti, for the benefit of our learners again?
Sure, sir. Please notice the words in bold. Our teacher had told us to submit assignment, but he forgot. Rahul met his friend at the station as he had promised. Vanita had finished her work and went to play. When I reached the station, the train had already left. When I finished the work, the teacher had already left. When he wrote answer to the last question, the bell had already rung. The police officer saw them violating the traffic rules before they had reached the point. I had promised to help her, but I could not do it. When Gandhiji had called for action, the people of this country supported him.
Okay. Learners, you have noticed the use of past perfect and past tense, as Kirti pointed out, the words in bold. I had reached the station, when I reached the station, the train had already left, had left and reached. Here are some more sentences in this activity task. I am going to read out. Kriti and you will be filling the appropriate past and past perfect forms. Okay. Each sentence, each blank will have 3 options, you will have to choose from them. The school assembly dash became, had become quiet well before the headmaster reached or had reached.
The school assembly had become quiet well before the headmaster reached.
When I dash reached, had reached the station, the train arrived, had arrived.
When I reached the station, the train had already arrived.
Okay. When I saw, had seen him, he moved, had moved out of the hotel.
When I saw him, he had moved out of the hotel.
Okay. I dash noticed, had noticed the difference before they dash told, had told me.
I noticed the difference before they had told me.
Very good, very good. When I entered, had entered the house, my brother went, had gone to play.
When I entered the house, my brother had gone to play.
When our captain had asked the team to exercise, many of us had started doing it.
When our captain asked the team to exercise, many of us had started doing it.
Very good, well done, well done. Look at the difference between the following past and past perfect tenses are used in the following sentences. Let us learn and discover the rules. I got up at 7 a.m. yesterday, the sentences are there with you. I studied in another school last year. I played a lot of hockey when I was in school. All of them are in past actions. These actions took place in the past, just it had no connection with another action. When we use past tense to refer to these past actions. Look at the sentence below, which appears on your screen. When I reached the station, the train had already left. Kriti, look at this and say which took place first.
The train had already left.
This
is a earlier action.
Earlier action. So, past perfect is used for an action before an action in the past. Both actions have taken place in the past, but one action is before an action. The train had already left, then I reached the station. So, in past perfect, learners, let us discover the rules, is used for an earlier action in the past. When I entered the classroom, they had all become quiet. When I entered the movie hall, it had already started. So, the an action before an action. So, he had told me beforehand, before some other action had taken place. It had happened before I joined. I did not know it. So, this is how past and past perfect tense are used in context. So, learners, when you read a newspaper item or a short story in your textbook, supplementary reader, just notice the form and use past perfect and past tense to refer to an earlier action in the past perfect and any action in the past perfect. This is how learners, Kriti, we learn today past perfect tense is used. Learners, we have learned past perfect and past tense. As you may have a question, why this lesson focused past perfect and past tense together? There is a reason for it. We could have said it in very well beforehand, but let me tell you now the secret, because language takes place in society, in context, for purposes. So, generally past perfect and perfect could be used very well. Of course, we can use past tense, Kriti, alone. I studied there long past, but when we refer to two actions in the past, immediate and earlier and later action, it should be fine to learn past and past perfect together. Fine. Learners, this is the fifth part of the grammar series, grammar in context, time and tense. Today this lesson we learned past and past perfect. We will see you in the sixth part with the continuation of this. Before we close this, let us also know what is the learning outcome of this lesson. Teachers, parents and learners and we ourselves as lesson planners should know. Kriti is here to read out the learning outcomes of this particular lesson.
Learning outcomes of this lesson. You will be able to speak and write grammatically correct sentences for a variety of situations using noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, determiners, etc.
We have today learned past perfect and past tense in context, and something may be lingering in your mind, why past perfect and past tense together. You know, language is learnt in context, in natural language use. We use language for purposes, for social purposes. So, past tense actions, an earlier action and another later action are used together in most occasions. So, that is what the reason. So, this is the fifth part of this series, grammar in context, time and tense, part 5. So, we will meet you in part 6 with continuation of time and tense. Thank you very much for having participated and done all the tasks and activities which we wanted, and thank you Kriti, and we together have done today past perfect and past tense. Thank you very much.